Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes.
Hello, everybody. If anybody's out there, I don't see anybody. Oh, well, it says 3 people are watching, so I guess there must be somebody out there. Let's see, what day did Purple give us? She said she might be late due to an appointment, so.
Okay. So the volume is a bit low. I've got my volume turned all the way up.
Nope, my volume's all the way up. This is as high as I can go. I haven't adjusted any volume on anything, so it should be the same as before. Hang on, I'll see how I sound from the other end here. Give me a second. Unmute this. Nope, sounds good. Sounds good on my end.
Okay, yeah. I was able to fix it last time I was on, but I don't remember exactly what the issue, what the fix was.
Yeah, well,
I guess I'm just using my tin cannon string from. Apparently that's all I got on this phone.
I guess so. Let's see here. It's on June 10th, 1752, Benjamin Franklin conducted his legendary kite experiment during a thunderstorm. So apparently that's what we're covering today. Let's see here. Contrary to a popular myth, his kite was not directly struck by lightning. Rather, it generated ambient electricity he charged from storm clouds to produce small sparks. The kite he made with a large silk handkerchief instead of paper, so it could withstand wind and rain, and with a pointed metal wire attached to the top. The string, a hemp string, ran from the kite with a metal key tied to the lower end. The grip. Franklin held the hemp string by tying a silk ribbon into the end, keeping the ribbon completely dry under a doorway or shed. This silk acted as an insulator to prevent the electricity he charged from grounding through his body. As the thunder clouds passed over the loose fibers on the kite string and began to stand erect, indicating the presence of an electrical charge. When Franklin brought his knuckle close to the metal key, a spark leaped out. The charge successfully traveled down the damp hemp string, allowing him to collect electricity in the Leyden jar. So that's his experiment. And who just popped it? Oh.
Sorry, I tried to look it up on Wikipedia and Premier.
And other things, Benjamin Franklin didn't discover electricity with this. It had been studied for over 1,000 years. However, he was the first to definitively prove that atmospheric lightning and electricity are exactly the same phenomena. So that's what his experiment was doing. We have resist OP impression. Hello, with a bunch of lines. Or am I just seeing things? It's not even coming up on the screen grab. Must be special characters.
It shows us, a pair of hands making a heart.
Ah. Oh, okay. I see it in the regular chat. It's coming in the StreamYard's chat. It's just coming up as a bunch of lines. But yeah, I see it in the regular chat now. Okay. Didn't used to do that with StreamYards. I guess they're being wonky today about that. So, how's your week been?
Oh, my week's going fairly well. Last week, so the job that I've been working the past few months, I've been working as a temp, and Monday of last week, I got hired on permanently.
Yeah,
So that was pretty cool.
that's good. Well, I ended up joining Planet Fitness, and I've been getting some good workouts there. Trying to work on building up the asymmetry on my left and right side due to all those strokes and shit.
Okay.
Ended up getting the black card or the thing, which is the premium package that lets me get into the spa to get the hydro massage, the massage chairs, the tanning beds, and the red light therapy things. I have no interest in the tanning beds, and I did a little bit of deeper dive into the red light therapy they have. I found a video where somebody brought in the spectrometer into it and EMF reader and all his other equipment. It turns out that those that red light therapy that they offer actually he has more of a range in the orange inch range rather than red. So it's not really doing what they advertise it doing.
So what is red light therapy supposed to be?
It's a red light and near infrared headlight combination in that can hypothetically affect the mitochondria of our bodies. We're not entirely certain exactly what it's doing. And that's the hypothesis. But we do know it's doing something, and it can help with healing and repair of the body. And of course, if you overdo it, you can actually make things worse too. But the spectrum that at the booths that they have at Planet Fitness aren't within that range. It will still do something, and given what the light it does have, but it won't have that deep healing effect that you'd be looking for. So that's what red light therapy is. So there is some legitimacy to it, but who's this? Oh, Mike? Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Mike.
On the sofa. Okay.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
I take it you can hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
You dropped out again.
Ah.
his connection doesn't seem to be pretty good.
Oh dear.
Uni, hello? Oh, he's fine. And then an hour recession in the red light district. Like, very relaxing.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, it's yeah. The red light actually does have to be within a specific range too. I believe the red light itself has to be somewhere between 633 and 660 nanometers, and the near infrared light has to be around 850 to 880 nanometers,
Oh, I
if
see.
I remember correctly.
Okay.
And that gives a deep tissue penetration of the light. And of course, the amount of exposure matters too, how intense lights are and all that. And he's gone again. So far, the one thing I've been liking is the hydro massage chair bed that they have. Basically, it gives you a massage with intense water pressure under this thing that keeps you dry.
Okay.
Feels so good, really relaxing.
Good.
And I appreciate Jinx's comment that time spent in the red light district can be very relaxing.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty proud of myself after workout at Planet Fitness. I did my drop sets, alternating curl drop sets, which basically you curl one arm, put it down, curl the other arm, put it down. And my weaker left side, I was able to do 6 reps. That's doing that 6 times. And where before I was only able to do 3. So it's 100% an increase in just a week.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically fighting stroke recovery for decades of asymmetry.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. Already went over. Do we have anything else here? Oh yeah, here was something. Well, the event has reached mythical proportions on Benjamin Franklin's kite flight. Some historians debate whether Franklin actually conducted the experiment or simply theorized it in his letters. So we're not 100% sure whether he actually conducted the experiment or not, apparently.
Oh, right. Well, here in the UK, we're taught that he did as fact.
That's how I've been taught.
Yeah. But it's the thing is, we're taught that we're supposed to take a lot as fact, as just face value. But it's not until we get older, this has been my experience anyway, that you learn that what you got taught at school it's not exactly 100%.
Yeah, I definitely learned that. I remember the crap I learned about Christopher Columbus. And hello, stop this stupidity. What symbol are you using? I have to go over here. Okay. Hearts and trans flags and pride flags. So am I. Very nice. Just wondering, let's see, it's not coming up on the thing. Is it coming up out? It's not going to give me this. Okay, it's coming up on the YouTube stream, but it's not coming up on the StreamYards. That's interesting. Yeah, it must be a StreamYards thing. Harmonica. Oh, man. Hello. Nice to have you here.
So, where's the boss lady?
She had an appointment in said she'd likely be late.
Okay, fair enough.
Until Journey popped in, and I was expecting to start this thing live maybe by myself. I drink alone.
So
When
did y'all hear anything of what I said?
I haven't heard you talk since you've been popping in and out.
Okay, so I was reading the Wikipedia article, and apparently when I switched to another app, StreamYard likes to kick me. Um,
Oh,
I
you're
was saying
using
that
your
I'm,
phone, huh?
yeah,
Ah.
yeah, I'm close to moving the new computer back into my studio area, and then I'll be able uh, to like use a real mic and be on camera and fun stuff like that. In the
Yeah.
meantime, I'm dealing with a tin can and a string.
Yeah, StreamYards is not phone friendly.
So, anyways, according to the Wikipedia article, on May 10th of 1752, a Frenchman uh, conducted Franklin's experiment, only he used an iron rod instead of a kite.
Ah.
And the iron rod apparently collected sparks from a cloud. So I'm guessing either it was a really long rod or really low cloud cover.
Or both.
You said really long rod.
And Franklin himself talks about the experiment in his newspaper, and talks about the experiment happening on June 16th. Although in that context, he doesn't mention who conducted the experiment, whether it was himself or somebody else.
Ah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not sure what that says about Franklin in terms of uh, humility or the pretension thereof.
Well, apparently there is some debate as to whether he ran the experiment or not, or just journaled it. So. Oh. Does anybody else have anything else? My mind is actually stuck on and going over story pointings from my various stories I've been working on.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, but unfortunately, my autistic brain decided to hyper focus on just that. That's the point where I almost forgot to sleep last night.
Oh dear.
Well, that's not so great.
Yeah. Trying to work out some of the details, like whether her. But one of my stories is Amelia. It's sort of a teen romance story between a character named Amelia and a character named Keith. And I was trying to work out whether Keith's father he should have died before the story started, or whether he's an absentee father or with a divorce. I'm kind of leaning towards the divorce.
Okay.
And it's also working out some of the ideas for my zombie story, which I've had in the back burner for years.
Mm. Yeah, it's about time I finished the novel that I've been working on for a couple of years now. I've taken a break from it for about 18 months, and I finished the first draft, but it's unfortunately it's not flowing very well. It's just not flowing. It just doesn't flow very well at all. It's there's no real logical progression. If you see what I mean, there's no this happened, which caused that to happen, which caused that to happen. It's kind of the scenes are all over the place. So
that's actually where I find AI to be quite helpful.
Oh right.
Okay, I've got this scene, but I can't seem to get it to all work together. How can you give me suggestions and how I could, get this to flow together? Yeah. What's the story about?
Well, it's the second it's the second part of my series, the Medway murders. Setting the part of the United Kingdom where I grew up, called Kent, and the River Medway flows through the county of Kent. You see, I mean there are other rivers, but the Medway is the main one, and the two detectives are called Critchley and Carter, and I don't know if you've seen Midsummer Murders.
Nope.
Oh right, well, it's like Midsummer Murders, but set in Kent. But and also, but anyway, in this book, DCI Carter, he's a recovering alcoholic, and he's going to AA meetings, and the facilitator of the meeting that he's attending gets murdered, and so he's been told he gets told, he can't investigate because he's too close. He's too close to it all. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But the person investigating who gets chosen to do the investigating is corrupt, and so Critchley decides to do his own investigation, kind of in his own time.
Little unofficial investigation.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds like an interesting premise.
Yeah. That's I think it is, and but it needs some work, and some of the characters need to be developed a bit more, I think, because they're a bit two-dimensional, and so I need to do some work on that.
Yeah. One of the problems I was running into with the zombie story is what perspective to use.
Oh yeah.
Because there are several different perspectives that actually do work for different scenes, but I can't exactly be switching perspectives throughout the story.
Yeah. I always tend to write from the perspective of God, if you see what I mean.
The omniscient in third person.
Yeah. I feel that works better for me anyway.
Yeah. As considering possibly first person limited for the zombie story, and one suggestion I got while I was brainstorming last night was to limit their perspectives just to a couple of the characters, rather than what my original idea was, having each chapter follow one character up to the point where they join the group, and then switch to the perspective of another character. So instead of doing that, I have it follow just a couple of characters with it flowing into each other, or between focusing on those two.
Okay.
That might work. Okay. Careful there, Molly. You almost got your toy stuck under the dresser. She's playing with her hoof. She has this cow hoof this is a chew toy, and she almost got stuck under the dresser again. Which means I'd have to get it out.
Okay.
Which is not fun.
No.
Yeah, but I have some interesting concepts for the zombie story. First of all, with my story, a lot of these zombies movies and all that, they never refer to them as zombies, and they seem to be ignorant of what a zombie is. Mine, it's baked into the culture already. They know what a zombie is. They refer to these things as the undead as zombies. There's purple and device not connected. I see with the camera. Anyway, she'll work herself out. And so that's an interesting perspective because they'll have the Hollywood, shoot the zombie in the head to end them and all that, but that doesn't work in my story.
Okay.
Yeah, for my story, the zombies are the result of these microorganisms that infest the human body. He begin to convert the body into as a means of reproduction for the organism and as a sort of hive that walks around. And they basically take control of and replace the nervous system of the body. So you take off the head or shoot them in the head, it doesn't matter because the brain doesn't matter to them. It's being controlled through a network of these organisms all throughout the body. So you cut off a hand, the hand can still move around.
Yeah.
I mean, you might disrupt them a little bit. You will stun the zombie, but you won't cause it won't kill it. You'd have to completely disable the body's ability to move and probably burn the body to really kill the zombie.
Oh, right. Okay.
So the conventional wisdom of Hollywood that my characters have grown up on doesn't work.
Oh, right. But that's the challenge, isn't it? Making your protagonists, not making them too easy to kill, but on the other hand, not making them too overpowered. So you write yourself into a corner.
Yeah. Also dealt with the faster slow zombie thing. I have both. It depends on the condition of the body, how fresh it is, and all that. So fresh, relatively undamaged corpse is going to be very fast. But as the body decay, or not exactly necessarily decays, but mummifies, because the organisms are preserving the skin and muscle tissue, because they need it to move the body around and provide a means of protecting themselves from the outside. The body begins to slow down, becomes more of your shambling zombie.
Yeah. Sounds good.
And the idea was to try and make the zombies, a scary threat rather than just something to shoot in a gallery.
Yeah.
I was working out the Amelia story here too a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that story has a girl named Amelia. She's a very attractive girl in high school. At first, she enjoyed the attention, had a popular boyfriend, always a crowd of friends around her. Though once her boyfriend tried to and get her to have sex with him. She refused. He broke up with her and started spreading rumors about her. And that's when she discovered that her circle of friends were actually friends at all, but just using her to bolster their own popularity.
Okay.
Keith, on the other hand, is your typical little bullied nerd. You're the quiet, shy kid. And eventually, he meets this girl in his old school named Kaylee, who tries to earn his trust, but is really just toying with him and ends up publicly humiliating him, which is devastating for him. Eventually, he ends up moving, and he goes and transfers to the new school, which is where he meets Amelia, and that's where the story starts.
Oh, I see.
Well, thanks for coming in Journey. It's nice to have somebody to start the show off with. Hello. Well, Purple is trying to get in here, I see, but she seems to be having difficulties.
Ah,
I see her in the backstage here. Yeah, there's Purple.
oh, hello.
I hope so. Can you
Yep,
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Got the staticky thing, but you're good. I know you haven't found your headset yet, so.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to do this using Sloth Girl's old laptop.
Ah,
I thought that might be better and, cut down on the distortion.
nope, sounds about the same.
This is being very laggy.
Sounds like it. Seem to be cutting in and out a little bit.
This is not working. Yeah, this is not working.
Sounds like you have noise cancellation on.
Oh dear.
I guess she's gonna go back to her computer.
Yeah.
I was having a little fun thinking of another character for the story, Krista. She acts as a good friend of Amelia and Keith's, and sort of the wingman of the crowd. Her story is that she is this hyperactive gossip girl with a severe case of ADHD.
Oh, I see.
So let's see here what I have for. Let's see, come up with a good. Where is it? What the heck is that dialogue I had for her? Of course, now I can't find it.
Oh.
Oh, wait, here it is. It's a little dialogue to get an example of how Chris is. I woke up and put my socks on, but they didn't match. But I didn't care because I thought it looked neat. So I went into school with mismatched socks, and along the way, there was this dog, and I had to stop to pet the dog because he was so cute. then the school bus arrived, and I missed it because as I was petting the dog, and that's why I was late for school. How was your day? Can I have a tater tot? Yeah, she's gonna be a fun character to write.
Yeah, it actually sounds fun. Yeah. Well, I've been a bit bummed out today
Oh,
because we got the news that the Doctor Who Christmas special has been cancelled,
yeah.
and Doctor Who is basically on hiatus for the indefinite future.
Yeah, I heard about that. Then again, it hasn't been doing too good in the past few seasons.
No, it hasn't.
Or wait, it's referred to series there, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, but no, the last few series haven't been doing that. The writing has been subpar, in my opinion.
Yeah, I kind of dipped out after Capaldi he left, and his run wasn't really that great with the writing, which really bummed me out because I thought Capaldi could have been a fantastic Doctor.
There were some great episodes with Capaldi, but there was some gold. There's some real gold.
Yeah, there is some element. There definitely are some good elements in there, but the writing, that's where the writing was really starting to dip to me.
And with Jodie, the writing got even worse.
Yeah.
And
Also, I don't think Jodie was a very good pick for the Doctor. She didn't have the enthusiasm for it.
No, which is a shame because I really like her as an actor. I was looking forward to seeing how her take on Doctor Who, because I thought she was great in this series called Broadchurch.
Yeah, I remember she was like, "Oh, I don't really know about the show. I'm not, I didn't really look into it," and that's totally the wrong way to go about being the Doctor.
Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't entirely her fault. It was bad. There's a lot of bad writing, and again with Ncuti Gatwa as well. I was looking forward to seeing him as the Doctor, but unfortunately, I don't think his heart was really in it.
I kind of feel like they didn't have him portray the Doctor so much as just an exaggerated version of himself.
Yeah, well, yeah, and also the writing was all over the place.
Oh God, the writing was terrible.
Yeah,
I only caught a few. I think I maybe watched only a couple episodes.
and so I think and also bringing back Billy Piper at the end was a mistake.
Yeah.
I think they should have just left it ambiguous. Left it so you saw Ncuti's Doctor beginning to regenerate and then fade to black and then credits. That way you wouldn't have all this speculation as to what Billy Piper was doing as the Doctor, and so and it was just a mess. It was a mess. So I think apparently they're going to get Bad Wolf are no longer going to be involved. They're gone. Russell T Davies is gone. So the BBC have put the show out to tender, which means they're going to get another production company to make the show for them. So we could be looking at a 5, maybe 10-year hiatus before we finally get new Doctor Who. But I think that might be a good thing.
Yeah, that actually might be a good thing. I mean, it did help with it the first time around when they put it on hiatus.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, go on.
Though I do think they really need to fix the story plots from the Timeless Children.
Yeah.
That for me, that one really jumped the shark. I mean,
Yeah.
I can ignore her bad writing for her episodes or even in seasons and just move on. But that one really destroyed the lore of the Doctor.
That's the thing, isn't it? Because there's no need for them to do that. Because I wouldn't have minded so much if it just if it's changed the lore of classic Doctor Who, but it retconned New Who as well. Because at the end of 11's run, the Time Lords gave 11 a new batch of regenerations, and it was hinted that this time he had indefinite regenerations.
Yeah,
So
they didn't give any mention as to how many regenerations they gave him, so they could just keep doing it however long they want. Which is a good idea.
Yeah, so the Timeless Children story arc fixes a problem that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
Okay.
Even adds problems too.
Yeah.
How do I sound now?
About the
Yeah, I
same.
think- yeah.
A little shallow, but you're good.
Okay. I don't know why StreamYard giving me problems today on top of everything else.
Well, I noticed the emojis aren't showing up on StreamYards. I have to look at the chat on YouTube to see anyone's emojis.
Well, I was trying to do it through Sloth Girl's laptop, but that didn't work. And yeah, I still have no idea what happened in my headset. Somebody came in here and swiped it. I don't know. Not that there's been anybody else in my apartment.
That's weird.
Yeah. It went missing before the stream last week, and, it should always be plugged into the computer, so there's no reason for it to have gone anywhere.
Yeah, usually the underwear gnomes don't mistake a headset for underwear.
Yep.
Gremlins.
Well, I always blame the gremlins. And, they think it's a hilarious joke. They take things and then they'll replace it, and then they'll bring it back as soon as you buy a replacement.
Yeah.
Gremlins can get into anything, old girl. First rule of the sea.
Yep. Try to reposition the mic here and see if that's going to help any.
Sounds a little bit better.
Okay.
Before getting this headset I'm using now, no, I only had this old microphone from 1998, which I was literally holding together.
Yeah.
Didn't work too well.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to the. I had a busted up old headset that I had taken apart, and I had used it to wire my mask for sound when Math Pig interviewed me.
Okay.
But I don't know what happened to that one either.
But we were talking about Doctor Who, Purple.
Yeah. I really haven't watched it in so many years that I'm really not up on the lore anymore.
All right.
What was the last thing you saw?
Last time I watched it would have been like 2008.
Okay.
So that would be Tennant's run, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fairly early in the David Tennant episodes.
But, I suppose you've heard the news.
Well, I heard you saying that the Christmas special was canceled.
Yeah.
So I was mucking around with my computer here.
Oh, right. Yeah. It annoys me because we won't get to find out what who or what Billy Piper is. We won't get to find out who the boss was supposed to be, and there were a few other plot threads that were left hanging. So it's like, okay, I guess we're just going to forget about those.
I'm not entirely certain they even knew what they were going to do with that.
No, I don't think they did.
Yeah, the last episode I saw really was when they showed a Dalek was able to go upstairs.
Ah, okay, the Dalek. I know what episode you're talking about.
Well, that was Seven. That was Sylvester McCoy when that happened for the first time.
No,
Oh,
she's talking about with the
No,
episode with David Tennant.
yeah.
All right. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Don't hold it like that. Why not? It looks silly. Musical instrument that the guy was collecting all sorts of alien technology and junk, and he happened to have a Dalek in his collection.
Yep.
It reactivated.
Yeah, he said something about it fell to Earth and it took 3 days for it to stop screaming. Oh. But yeah, basically, I really only know the lore like up through the oh, I'm blanking on his name again.
Tennant.
Yeah, the Colin Baker was about as far as I'd gotten really,
Oh,
and
right.
then
Okay.
a couple of seasons with David Tennant.
Well, I'd recommend at least if you're going to go back and rewatch it, at least watch through Matt Smith's run.
Watch what?
Matt Smith's run. He's the Doctor after Tennant.
Okay.
Yeah, he was good actually.
Yeah, he was. It took a little bit. It took me a little bit of time to adjust and get used to him, but after I did, I liked him.
Yeah.
That pretty much happens with every new Doctor. You know, it takes a season or so for people to get used to him.
But I liked Tennant right off the bat.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, he had a good character. He was very, very animated about it.
In fact,
Yeah.
I'd say he's right up there with my other favorite, with the Fourth Doctor.
Yeah, with Tom Baker.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's definitely my top 5.
which I think during that special where they brought him back, they did him dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that whole talking down to him was one of the most misandristic things I've seen in Doctor Who. Oh, if you were still a woman, you'd understand.
Yeah.
What, somebody was mansplaining to him?
They basically had 3 women and talking down to him about how moronic he was. As if he was a woman, he'd understand. And you have this woman in a wheelchair sitting there looking all smug, and it was absolute crap.
Yeah.
I mean, just if you were just to flip the narrative around, where it was a woman there with 3 men and talking down to her, you just flip that script around like that, you can see how bad it was.
Yeah. Oh. So, did you discuss Ben Franklin's Kite?
Yep.
Okay.
I was just talking about how I was hyper focusing on my various stories last night to the point of almost forgetting to sleep.
Yeah, I heard you saying something about your zombie story. I'm not sure which perspective to use.
Yeah, that's been a struggle. That was when I had worked out a long time ago, and I just ended up putting it in the back burner because I just didn't know what to do with it from that point.
Mm-hmm. I've got a couple of things like that. Like my second novel was like about the first interstellar ship from Earth. And then I've got my time travelers that I don't know whether or not I'm going to tie them into my current novel. Just not that they play a big part, but just as being in the same universe. Although, you put time traveling and things can get kind of mucky.
Yeah, you need to really work out hard rules for your time travel.
Well, I've been, working over the thing for my time travelers for, past 2 or 3 decades. So yeah, I've got the mechanism pretty well figured out. That basically they're kind of creating little wormholes.
Also, how your time travel works is it like can you run with causality loops, or is it basically like branching timelines, things where multiple timelines can exist simultaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the things you want to work out.
Yeah, well, that's I do it as time streams that they branch out, and occasionally, sometimes streams that are extremely similar will sometimes merge back together. And that's the explanation for the Mandela effect, that if two streams merge back together, some people have the memories from one side, some people have the memories from the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I think, as far as time travel goes, so long as you work out a solid set of rules right from the word go, and you stick to them, you can't go far wrong.
Yeah. Well, and I like the branching and remerging streams because one of the problems I've seen with if you're doing time travel or if you're doing multi-universe things, is it's hard to make the stakes real because it's too easy to write it off of, oh, well, that was an alternate timeline, so it didn't really affect my characters.
Yeah, or you end up with okay, we killed that character off, but we can just bring in the same character from an alternate timeline. No big deal.
Which I did for one bit. Which was just kind of fun to do it for that one bit because the guy had died in one timeline and they kind of accidentally wound up with two of him in another timeline. So they left one behind in the stream where he had died. And it just happened in that timeline that his wife ran an occult bookstore. So he was dead and he was working in the occult bookstore, and they weren't going to explain that to anyone.
Oh, right.
Schrodinger's character.
But I did come up with something to make the overarch for the time travelers to actually make it have some consequences. That basically humans had contaminated and messed up so much that there was a godlike being who was getting pissed off to the point of not just doing a genocide, but threatening to go back and erase any trace that humans had ever existed.
Hmm.
So he gave the time travelers one last chance that, okay, if you can straighten out like at least 75% of the timelines to go in a better direction, I'll let you keep going.
Interesting.
That actually does sound like an interesting plot point.
Oh, Unfinished Fury saying Larry Niven wrote a really cool essay about rules for time travel. I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah, so will I.
Okay, it's called The Theory and Practice of Time Travel.
Okay.
Yeah, one part of it I've got to work with a bit is it's like once the wormholes are established, then everything makes sense. It's kind of working out, how they originally open one if they don't have basically a grounding point at each end.
Yeah, good. Looks like you can access as the theory and practice of time travel will free on a PDF.
Yeah, I was guessing it was probably public domain thing. Oh.
Yeah, already an hour into this. That's good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But actually, the whole novel I'm working on now is kind of a spin-off from something that was like one chapter in the second novel. And my first two novels, no one ever has to see those. Well, the first one I started writing when I was 14, so, it's got some typical teenager stuff and a Mary Sue character.
Ah,
Well, those are things you can rework.
Yeah, well, it would require a complete rewrite. I might go back to it at some point, but also it was basically a 300-page fanfic for the Dragon Riders of Pern.
Ah,
okay.
Because, yeah, when I was a teenager, I was very much into that series.
attendantry. He fanfiction writing being his practice.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was good. It got me started, and, I had some friends read it, and I got feedback on it.
Oh, that's good.
I'm not sure somebody could read it now with some effort, but the only surviving copy is on 4 discs for a Commodore 64. So you need to get something they'll read 5 1/4-inch floppy disk in the Commodore format.
Assuming that the discs even work anymore.
That's true. For as long as they've been in storage, they may have deteriorated by this time. They probably have. That's been like 40 years, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so most of it's in my head. Right now, I'm kind of debating what's going to screw up a universe worse, having time travelers or having a shapeshifter. They're both problematic.
Yeah.
And
Depends on
it's
how they're
like,
being used.
yeah, well, it's like both of them come packaged with cool characters, but is it going to cause more problems that's worth?
Time traveling shapeshifter.
Well, I was trying to come up with an idea for a shapeshifter to make sense, because I never liked shapeshifters in sci-fi, just because they didn't make any sense. They needed some rules where they made sense. So this one actually winds up being not a single entity, that it's a colony of nanites that has kind of been infected by a life form that's in our universe comes across more like being pure energy.
Ah.
It's actually a life form from a two-dimensional universe that happened to get trapped here.
Yeah, so basically a two-dimensional energy, a life form. I'm using the nanites as a medium.
Yeah, that basically these nanites were kind of a universal machine, and just this entity was able to latch onto them, so you now have a sentient colony of nanites.
That definitely works.
So, and the other thing about shapeshifters is too often they just like completely ignore the idea of size and mass.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah, so this one has to preserve that. It's like, okay, you can have hollow spots and adjust density. So basically, it can get to be anything as small as a human and as big as a horse. That's basically the range.
Yeah. So basically, if you have 200 pounds of these nanites, whether it's a horse or a human, and it's going to be 200 pounds.
Yeah, it's going to weigh the same. The horse will just be half hollow. Oh, it's been a busy day for me already.
Mm.
And I still have one more appointment this evening after the stream.
Let's see, you came in. I said ended up joining the Planet Fitness thing. That's been working out well for me.
Okay. So are you getting over there a couple times a week to work out, or?
Yeah, well, at least once a week. I was there yesterday. He were mostly focusing on working on my legs, since that's what I really needed was machines to be able to work my legs.
Mm-hmm.
Especially my left leg, because I needed to work out, trying to get the asymmetry worked out.
Yeah.
Sore.
We've got a treadmill and a stationary bike here in the building that anybody can use, and I need to get more serious about working out, try to build my endurance back up so I could actually ride a regular bicycle to the stores and that.
Yeah. So far, actually, I think one of my favorite machines to use is the lateral leg press.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with what that is. It's basically almost like sitting upside down in a chair, or with the weights above you, and you kind of press this up with your feet.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the machine, but I did have a weight bench with a leg lift at one time. I actually built that as a school project in shop. Yeah, we have GeoSam popping in there. So how many? It says we've got 7 people watching now.
Well, you'd like the color scheme of Planet Fitness. They use purple.
I've seen the buildings from the outside, and I've seen some pictures online. Yeah, GeoSam says he's been riding a bike most of his life. When I was younger, I did, and up until I was like in my early 40s. So it's been like 15 to 20 years since I really seriously rode a bike any distance.
Yeah, same here. I haven't ridden a bike for years, I must admit.
Yeah. Well, also I took a hit from COVID that it left some scarring on my lungs, so I don't have the breathing capacity I used to. That's why I really need to work on building up my breathing capacity again.
Yeah, I'm actually still recovering a little bit from the pneumonia and bronchitis over from 2024 there.
Yeah.
I find that I'm mostly recovered, but I find with running I get shorter breath real quick.
Yeah. Well, I've been trying to work out on the treadmill, and I'm trying to do that more often. I usually go up there. I do about a quarter mile in 15 minutes.
This is the lateral leg press machine.
Okay, I see.
So you just kind of sit. You're like almost sitting upside down, and
Yeah,
have the
so
weights.
picking up an incline.
Yeah, and you're just pressing up. I'm about 157 is my weight right now, or around 160. Kind of fluctuates,
Mhm.
and I'm so far able to do about 188 on the machine. It's
Yeah,
pretty
well,
good.
press your own weight. You're doing pretty good there.
Yeah, a little bit more, a little bit over my own weight, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, Geo Sam say he was a bike messenger in Manhattan.
That's cool.
That must have been kind of scary in that traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to do the charity bike-a-thons. And that's some of those I would ride up to 75 miles in one day.
They also have this seated leg press machine here.
Yeah, that's more what I was thinking of, that basically you're moving yourself, so your own body is the dead weight.
Well, they have this, it's a wire thing here. You can adjust weights here that you use. But this is the one I use for working just my one leg.
Yeah.
So I just put my left leg up on the pad and just push with the one leg. And when my leg starts getting tired, then I put both feet up and work both feet, and then take it down and just keep working the one leg with that machine.
Yeah, so you can dial up the resistance on that.
Yeah. And they also have extension machines and curl machines. So it's basically like a bar pad that you press down or push up with your leg.
Mm-hmm.
And those have been helpful.
Well, on last weekend, Sloth Girl's son and I took the trip down to Kenosha, Wisconsin, where Sloth Girl's family is. And as a bonus, on the ride back, we got to meet up with Junie. So got to spend about 2 hours talking with Junie on our way home. So it was good to see her. It's been, she's not real active online, and it's been a couple of years since I saw her in person. And yeah, she looks amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm.
Mm.
So she has gotten more involved with the trans community here. That she even did a bit part in a video by one of the better known trans creators, Fairy Princess Lucy. That she did an animated video, and Junie's got a small speaking part in there.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, well, it's good to see that she's connected with a community of other artists that are recognizing her talents.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, so Mike, I heard you were also on another writing project, a mystery novel of some kind.
Yeah, I am. Well, I'm writing a series of detective novels called the Medway Murders.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, well, there's two available out now. The Pillbox and Purple Haze. Well, Purple Haze is just a novella rather than a novel.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also been working on a book, a story called Sober, which is which I put on the back burners because I was getting burnt out with it. But I've picked it up again, and I'm trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work.
Well, by all means, put the links for the ones you have out in the YouTube stream here, so whoever's interested can go check those out.
I'll see if I can. Yeah, I'll see if I can do that. Yeah. Okay.
Well, if you can't do it right now, send me the links later, and I'll add them to the description for the video.
Sure.
Yeah, mysteries aren't really my thing. I don't do much recreational reading at all because with my dyslexia, it's a bit difficult.
Yes, I tend to listen to audiobooks myself.
Mm-hmm. Even for the one I'm writing, I would be happy just to skip the actual written book altogether. And it's really kind of my dream of mine to just produce it like a radio play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to focus more on audiobooks myself as well.
Yeah, because there's a lot of it I'm having trouble. Well, one of the things I'm having trouble with is one of the main characters is a cat. So, how do you spell it or write out so people get the feeling of the different sounds the cat makes? Because there's a clear difference between when they're just kind of, they're comfortable in their space and saying hello, and then they have some very aggressive noises and, have to put across the differences.
Yes.
You want to throw in body language with that as well.
Hi, Sam. Yeah. Well, I do explain in that for communicating with a cat, you have to watch the tail. That's very important. So, and that's, yeah, I have a cat and a horse, which are both really, major characters. So it's, how do you put across what they're trying to communicate to people when you're trying to do it in text?
Interesting.
The pillbox.
There's a VTuber named Nara who I discovered because Surus had her on some of his streams. And she's been putting out a lot of shorts, and it's like, yeah, she does the cat noises so well. That if I could produce it as an audio play, I'd like to cast her as the cat.
Ah.
And I have a cat who's just happy I'm home and sleeping on my foot again. Yeah. Ethan does not like when I am gone for multiple sunrises.
All right.
And I have a new kitty that I was planning to take in, but didn't know I had a deadline on. So she came last week, and it was like not ideal to get a new animal in the place and then leave for 4 days.
No.
So far she's restricted to the bedroom, and I didn't even have time to build a gate to put across the hallway so that they'll be able to see each other but still keep them separate. Because Sage, the new kitty, is I was told she was real spicy, which she's not. She's just insecure. So the only time only time she's given me problems is when she felt threatened, when she felt cornered or thought I was taking something away from her. So she's just trying to defend herself, but because of that, I've got to make sure I introduce them slowly.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I expect Ethan is going to be quite jealous. I mean, they both been sniffing at the bottom of the door, so they're aware each other is here.
Mhm.
Ethan does not like when I go and sit in there for a couple hours and he can't come to me. Oh. So, Mage, how are your animals doing? How's Molly and the chickens and your bird?
Molly is having fun sitting here chewing on her toys, and the chickens are being chickens, and the bird seemed to be quite happy today.
Okay. So the chickens are safe. I know you said you had a problem a while back with raccoon.
Yeah, raccoon managed to get into the coop.
Yeah, so you got everything secured. So
Yeah,
nothing else is going to get.
I took care of all that.
Yeah. Yeah, my sister keeps chickens. The property she bought has an old barn on it. So she's just got the chickens in one section of the barn. She had a problem last year with the weasel getting in there.
Try that again. I'm putting US links for your books there.
Oh, oh, thanks.
Oh, Major pulled them. Thank you.
I'm trying to, at least. One link didn't copy correctly. It's still not copying correctly. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when it does it. It cuts the damn thing off.
Yeah, sometimes the Amazon links are so long that it truncates them.
Try this. There it goes. There we are.
Okay.
And if you're wondering why I'm muting, it's because I'm sitting here eating a protein bar.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm still trying to have some breakfast here myself, so I just put down a cereal bar and trying to have a bit of fruit while I'm talking. I've got some of those little miniature oranges and a banana.
Hmm.
Yeah, I got the David's peanut butter and chocolate chip protein bar. Sounded pretty. I've heard these are pretty good, and they actually is pretty good.
I'm not familiar for a David brand of those. It might just be a local or regional thing where you are.
No, it's not a local or regional thing. Something I heard. It was actually recommended by one of the YouTubers I watch who's up in Canada.
Oh. Okay, I haven't seen the brand around here. Then again, those aren't a thing that I buy regularly.
Yeah, it's not something I usually buy either, but I wanted to. It's something I was wanting to try for a while, and I happen to be in the Publix because I don't usually go to, and they happen to have them. So I figured, oh, okay, I'll give them a try.
That's one thing I'm glad that summer's here. That even though you get fruit from all over the world now, so while it doesn't seem there's really seasons for things, there are some things I can tell the difference when they're in season. Strawberries, especially.
Yes, I was going to say
They're
strawberries.
out of season and we're getting them from somewhere else. They tend to be hard and kind of flavorless. But June and July, when they're in season in this region, then we get good ones.
Well, enjoy it while you can. It sounds like if we're looking at the Atlantic, uh, Atlantic Medieval overturning, circulation collapsing, which is going to seriously fuck up up the environment, particularly in UK.
Yeah. Well, I've seen myself already weather patterns changing just in my own lifetime. So yeah, we're doing things to the planet that we don't really even understand the long-term consequences of.
Exactly.
Oh, we understand them. We're just not doing anything about it.
Well, yeah, there were a lot of environmental scientists who were writing papers of them back in the 50s that predicted what we're already seeing. But mostly the big corporations didn't like those, so they did things like try to make plastic waste a consumer issue. So they didn't have to do anything about it on the industrial level. And it's like, yeah, if everybody recycled all their stuff, it would help. But if the industries aren't doing it, all the consumer stuff together is really such a small percentage. Oh. Ethan is dreaming. He's fast asleep, but he's all twitchy.
Oh.
Molly has just settled down next to me with, of course, her butt on my foot.
Ethan's tail is going wild, and he keeps kicking me with his back foot.
Now Molly's looking up at me because I said her name. And she's saying belly rubs.
Well, of course. Oh, but I have the annual inspections on Monday, so less than a week to finish getting this place together. And I have the plans drawn up to build some more storage units for the bedroom to do that. But another thing that has vanished is the saw I need for it. Just lots of weird stuff going. Oh, and then for July 4th, I've got my family reunion.
Oh, right.
And that's going to be fun since most of them have not seen me since I transitioned. And among the uncles and cousins, we have a good number of MAGA people. So.
Yes, there's quite. My siblings are all on the right side of politics.
Yeah.
I mean, my brother Will, he I don't know if you know about the political party reform in this country.
I
But
know
they're-
Bernadette not a lot.
But they're you know they're more right wing even than the Conservative Party.
Yeah,
But he didn't vote for them because he said they're not you know they're not well he didn't actually say they weren't right enough, but that was from what he was telling me that's the gist I got anyway. He didn't trust them to do you know to do enough on immigration. I mean,
yeah. Let's not let anybody in who'll do the jobs that we're not willing to take.
hmm.
Yeah,
He
so close
basically-
to the border is like a xenophobe.
Trump's
I mean, he-
immigration has backfired on him.
Anyway, you're starting to talk.
Sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, but he basically blames all of this country's problems on immigrants, basically.
Yeah. Well, he'd fit in great with the MAGA crowd in here in the U.S.
Probably, yeah.
Well, Trump made an exception for immigration for white people from South Africa. And now that they've been here for a bit and they have seen how MAGA operates, they are going back to South Africa in droves.
Yeah, there's one particular South African I would love to see, you know, emigrate back to South Africa.
Yeah, Elon Musk. No. Actually, I changed my mind. I want to see him immigrate to Mars.
Yeah, yes, he can
Stay there.
He can just fuck off to Mars and live there on his own.
Yeah.
I thought that was the whole idea, that he was supposed to, you know, be off with the first Mars colony by now.
Yes, but apparently that's gone by the wayside.
Yeah, who knew it was going to be that complicated to get a bunch of people who will stay enclosed in a spaceship for 6 months to get there and then live on a planet with no atmosphere.
Well, it'd also help if most of his rockets didn't keep blowing up.
Yeah. Well, they did announce the crew for the next Artemis mission to the moon, the Artemis 3 project.
Yeah.
I didn't get the names, but I saw an article with a picture of the crew they've selected.
Yeah, I've got a video that I've scheduled for later this week, where Elon Musk said on X, Hitler is a hardcore socialist, and he got owned into next year.
Can't wait to see that.
Someone even asked Grok if Hitler was a hardcore socialist, and Grok owned Musk into next week.
Yeah, it's funny how often Grok is, you know, undercutting everything Elon Musk says.
Yeah, it is.
You
Yeah.
would think that the AI that, you know, he was overseeing the programming would be more flattering to him.
He tries to get it to be more flattering at times, but usually fucks it up and ends up obsessing over white genocide or calling itself Mega Hitler.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Here's
you
a
got the
here's a
crew.
photo. Yeah, here's a photo of the next crew of Artemis 3.
All right.
Apparently, it's set. Let's see here. Orbit in 2027. First planned a series mission to lunar southern pole in 2028.
Yeah, that's been pushed back too. They were supposed to make the landing this year, but that got pushed back by the last rocket that exploded.
Well, most of these explosions are happening under SpaceX, not NASA.
Yeah.
But NASA's funding got heavily cut while we're dumping lots of money into SpaceX's exploding rockets.
Yep. Yeah, well, why give money to the experts who know what they're doing when you can give it to a billionaire with an ego the size of the planet?
Yeah.
Yes, the billionaire, almost trillionaire, deserves it and needs it more. I mean, if we tax them, how will he afford a new yacht when the old one gets wet?
Yeah. Well, Mondani put a tax on the millionaires and billionaires. The prediction that they would all be fleeing New York has certainly not happened.
Yeah. Well, what you do is you tax their assets.
Yeah, well, that's what Mondani did. Is
Yeah.
he put a tax on homes that are valued at more than $1 million that are not their primary residence.
Yeah.
So, like, if they're living there full time, the tax doesn't apply. It only applies to the ones who are living in another state and also have homes in New York City.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. I do think that we need to handle property taxes differently and offset the revenue that we get with other things, and treat the property taxes like a one-time transfer fee with recurring payments on like secondary properties and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, no, an annual property tax makes sense because if you're living there, the property tax is paying for the city services.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fire departments and things.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. We figure out some way of offsetting that with other means of revenue, but
yeah,
it would be complicated.
Oh, the other project that Mondani started that when it kicked off this week is 5 grocery stores that are owned by the city, so that they are, an attempt to have grocery stores operating in the lower income neighborhoods that the chains don't want to bother with.
Okay.
Which I see as a great thing. And the other thing is, if the city's operating them and, not worried about paying off dividends to shareholders, are they going to be able to undercut the prices of the regular grocery stores? And if they can force the corporations to compete price-wise with them, that could bring, the overall grocery prices down for everyone in the area.
Possibly. Hopefully that works out. Let's say you pull the Walmart trick of undercutting the smaller guy to the point they run them out and then jacking their prices up.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, we have a good grocery chain operating here. And they managed to keep going. I like it because it's an employee-owned chain. That basically anybody who's been working there more than 3 months has stock in the company.
That's a good way of going about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's basically as socialist as we can get in this country, as far as the employees owning the capital.
Yeah,
but
that
it
should be.
Make a difference because then their job performance does actually affect how much their retirement fund is worth.
Yeah, that should be like baseline and standard for pretty much any business, really.
Yeah.
Bare minimum.
It's a good model. I'd like to see it applied to a lot more things.
Yeah.
So yeah, even with one Walmart in the city and another one in the adjoining suburb, they're still operating, I think, like 6 grocery stores and a liquor store. that have managed to stay competitive with Walmart's. So I always do my grocery shopping there first. I'll only go to Walmart for the stuff I can't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually been liking to shop at Aldi's. They have really good prices.
Oh yeah, we've gotten Aldi's here too. I go into Aldi's occasionally. The main thing I like there is they've got a better selection of cheeses. They get some good imported cheeses.
I didn't really see that at mine, but they they have a good they have good orange juice. I was kind of pricing it out compared to what I can get at the Publix. Thanks, and the two of the bottles of their orange juice is more and about the same price as is just one of the bigger bottles at the bigger store.
Yeah. Well, I do find Aldi's has their price brand, their house brands.
Yeah, it was a house brand orange juice.
Yeah, that their house brands are usually a good value, and I haven't found any that I thought the quality was lacking on.
Yeah, I got their almond butter. That was really good. And I think the raw honey I got was also a house brand,
Yeah,
but that was really cheap too.
we have an Aldi's here, but it's a very small store, so they don't have a huge selection.
Hmm.
I know also, like in Wisconsin, it seems all the Aldi's have a liquor store in them, or at least sell wine. And I don't know of any of them in Minnesota that sell wine.
Yeah, they still have the liquor store from the previous Winn Dixie that is in that spot where the Aldi's took over.
Uh,
So that's still controlled by the previous this thing, and they only converted half the area too. For some reason.
yeah, well,
So
that's
big. Yeah, so that big grocery store area that they had, they put a wall between it and they only converted half of it for some reason.
yeah, that's why we have a small one here. Is it's just it's one of the bigger stores in a strip mall.
Mm. Though I do think they need to put self checkout out into those Aldi's because they have 5 cash registers and usually only one opened.
They have the self checkouts here, but yeah, with the self checkouts, they usually only have one actual register open.
Well, we don't have the self checkouts and they only have one register open, which is so. So far, I've only been in there a couple times and it's always a long line.
Yeah.
It's like going to the Dollar Tree.
I think here they only put the self checkouts in because of COVID, but then they've kept them.
Mm.
I don't think that they had them before the COVID hit. And that's a lot of stores did that just to, avoid the contact.
Yeah.
Which made sense. I mean, the register people were at the high risk, and unfortunately, Sloth Girl's son, that was, he was working retail, and I am convinced that he was an asymptomatic carrier. Because I had COVID multiple times, and every time it was the week after he was here, although he never had any symptoms. But he was working retail where he was, talking to 100 strangers a day at least.
Yeah.
And yeah, right before I was trying to get in here, I also had my building manager show up with a bunch of papers I had to sign. So I had to get the extra forms from her about about having another animal here.
Just watch. As soon as you move all this is to Fridays next month. That's when and all your appointments will get moved to Friday.
Yeah. Well, that's why. That's a big reason for me wanting to move the streams. It just seems that in this network, all of the specialists always schedule me on Wednesdays. So, I mean, there's been so many times that May just had to run the stream for me. That's like, I should schedule it for a day that I know I can be here most of the time.
I will have to rearrange my workout schedule for that, but no big deal.
Sorry. Oh,
It's no big deal. I've got it pretty much worked out in my head how I'm going to do it. Just going to shift everything down a day.
okay. Yeah, I have to get myself in a routine of working out regularly. I do it erratically, which means some weeks I don't do it at all, and that's not good. I got to make sure that I get it in a regular routine of doing it at least a couple of days a week. I mean, it doesn't take that long. I should be able to do it every day.
Yeah.
For me, most of it's a matter of the energy level that, I have to go out there and there's a chance that the neighbors might start talking to me.
Yeah, so my workout is I do a upper lower or split 4 times a week. So it's Monday the upper body, the Tuesday lower body, Wednesday rest. So I can do this too.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday upper body, the Friday a lower body. And just shift if I just shift that all the way. So Sunday, a Monday rest Tuesday. I can keep Friday opened.
Okay, that's good. What do you do for the upper body? Just regular weightlifting, or?
Yeah, it's just curls, different types of chest presses and all that.
Yeah, that's what I need to add in. I definitely have to do something that works my arms more.
Yeah, I found getting a workout bench really helped quite a lot.
Yeah. I've got a set of dumbbells that I picked up for doing that. And, I should start with just the little ones and just, do like the 3-pound ones for doing sets of curls, just to get my arms used to it.
Yeah, I had some 8-pound ones, but they were like mismatched shape, and I definitely had grown past them. So
Each
I got
weight is a gallon jug of water. Yeah. See, that's the thing is, all my life, the work I did, involved moving around materials and tools so much that I never had to think about exercising. So the idea that now I actually have to think about it and I have to regard it as a separate activity from what I would have been normally doing. Just hard to get the mental program for that in that it's a necessary thing.
I do some pretty intense workouts too.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Most of my life, I was walking around carrying 30 to 50 pounds of tools.
Yeah, right now I'm actually waiting for this duffel bag to arrive at sometime either this month or next. And I'm going to
duffel bag.
What was that?
What's in the duffel bag?
Nothing's in the duffel bag, but I'm going to be putting stuff in the duffel bag. I'm going to buy play sand from the hardware store, and create 8 little 5-pound sand pods using Ziploc bags and industrial little garbage bags and some duct tape. And they're gonna fit into the thing. I'll stuff it. I'll pad it out with something. I'll probably I'm thinking maybe cotton, or we're starting off maybe some regular plastic bags from the grocery store, and that'll be a shifting in weight I can carry around to simulate like carrying a person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd go on a lot of walks, and I lift weights as well. And what I do, when I'm catching the bus into town, instead of instead of just walking down the road to the bus stop, I purposefully walk to the next bus stop
Yeah.
along, and same coming back as well.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what I used to do a lot when I was taking the bus too, was that just, leave early and just keep walking until the bus was catching up with me.
Yeah. Another good trick is if you're like driving to a grocery store, you park really farthest out as you can.
Yeah, you're breaking up a bit. I think you're saying about parking at the far end of the lot.
Yeah, you park at the far end of the lot.
Yeah.
And I don't drink anymore.
I still have one glass on Fridays.
I still keep some around, and I'll have a couple once in a while just when I'm sitting home relaxing.
But thing is, I wouldn't say I was an alcoholic, but I was definitely on that trajectory.
Yeah. Definitely something to be careful about.
Yeah.
If I had been stuck in that little town in Michigan, it was inevitable I would have become an alcoholic there.
Because I was doing a lot of day drinking.
Yeah.
And I was drinking to self-medicate.
Yeah.
Which is never a good sign.
No, that's
Well,
not.
that's what I was doing up in Michigan, because I just, I couldn't be myself in public. It was outright dangerous there for me to be out about anything. So I had the same thing that, I was get home from work and I was drinking every night.
Yeah.
Well, every morning just before breakfast, I don't want no coffee or tea. Just me and my good buddy Wiser. That's all I ever need.
Oh.
Yeah, I was about to open in the stream with a little bit of that song if Journey hadn't joined me.
Yeah, I kind of missed your streams when you were singing.
Yeah, I really need to get back into doing that. I just haven't been able to get my mind back into it.
Yeah, I get you. But you had some good nostalgia bits there when you were covering some of the things, some of the old-time radio and TV shows.
Yeah. Well, I still have all that on my channel as standalone stuff you can listen to. Yeah, I really should get back to at least putting up videos on the channel every once in a while, even if I'm not doing live streams.
Yeah, well, even if you edit some of your old live streams and take the songs out and put them up as shorts.
Yeah, I won't do shorts, but I'll do regular videos that are short.
Okay. I haven't tried doing shorts, so I'm not sure what the difference is, but I keep hearing from everybody that that's the easiest way to promote a small channel now.
Yeah. YouTube wants to push their shorts so they can become TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do a short once in the blue moon. But not in any regular, not regularly, no.
Yeah.
But those shorts are a bit of a scam, because they take different in income compared to the regular thing. You get different in audience base. You might not translate over to the other stuff.
Yeah.
And it fucks up your algorithm.
Yeah, it can fuck up your algorithm.
Oh, in what way does it fuck up the algorithm? I thought that was supposed to be the good thing about them.
Because you're getting an audience base that might not be watching your other stuff, so your other stuff ends up suffering for it.
Mm.
So, oh yeah, you've got 1,000 subscribers, but you're only getting 100 views on this video that you put up, because your 1,000 subscribers are more interested in shorts.
Right. Yeah, well, I certainly have no illusions about my channel ever being monetized, so the money doesn't mean anything to me, but that's what I had heard about the shorts, was it was just a way to get yourself out in front of people who wouldn't normally look at your channel.
I just generally hate that format. Autoplay a vertical video, being forced into a vertical video.
I agree. I hate the format, especially the autoplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they would give you a little more control about that. And the other thing, you know, I don't know if this is true, like if you're on a mobile or that, but it seems that you're looking at the shorts through Chrome. Yeah, they a lot of times they say that like there's a link to the longer video in the description, and in Chrome there's never a usable link.
All right.
Well, there's one little trick you can do with those shorts on YouTube is if you go up into the URL and change it from short to watch, it will play as a regular video.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Thanks for the tip. I'll try that. I keep wanting to get back into doing some edited videos. I got partial scripts for some historical things and that. You know, just things that are of interest to me. Some other people may find them interesting. And like I said, I'm not concerned about monetization or really even about the algorithm. It's just like anything I put up, I'm just happy if it gets 100 views.
And that's another scam with the shorts. It's make it a whole lot more views, but some of those views might be coming from the same person because it may take them 2 or 3 watch throughs before they stop it and go to another thing.
I didn't think about that. That would count as multiple watches.
Yeah.
So actually, it would be good if you just let it keep looping for some of your friends, just to rank up more watches.
Yeah, that's what you get. That's how you get a lot of watches on TikTok, too.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times that happens to me. Like I'll put on a playlist with them, and it'll run through some of the shorts, and that sometimes like I'll go to the bathroom and I'll come back and it's still looping through the same short. So it probably played 10 times in the time I was away from the computer.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I need to take a quick break here. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
What else we got around here? I wonder if the whales are still attacking in yachts. Over 600 interactions and ramming things have been reported since 2020. Yes, the killer whales are teaching their young how to hunt down yachts.
Possibly, yeah.
Let's see here. Well, people, popular media has framed these as revenge attacks, possibly linked to a traumatized whale. Marine biologists lean in toward a playful, learned behavior passed on through social interaction. Imitation.
Okay.
Yep. Claire, here. Hello. Yeah, no big deal. You only missed everything. I mean,
Hey, Claire. Yeah, the orcas on the yachts. Well, the marine biologists observing them, have said, yeah, it's very clear this is something that the older members of the pod are teaching the younger ones. Because they're very smart about it, that they are specifically targeting the rudders. That's been the problem with most of the attacks, is it's usually that the whales are tearing off the rudder, so then the boat can't steer, and even though it's still floating, they can't get themselves back to shore. So they have to send somebody out to tow them back in.
Yeah.
There's too much face.
well, I learned quite a lot about myself this past week.
Oh?
Yeah. For instance, I'm capable of hyperphantasia and prophantasia. If you don't know what those mean.
Fantasia?
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
you know what hyperphantasia is?
Well, I'm assuming that it's just very realistic imaging.
Yeah. So you'd be like having a movie theater in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Prophantasia is basically the ability to project that into the real world. And I experience that usually with deja vu symptoms. So I'll be in a place that I've been to a long time ago, and I'll start remembering what it was like, and it will actually create a ghost overlay of what the place looked like in the past, and it's onto the real area. That's prophantasia. The way you think about it is like, okay, you have like an image of an apple in your head. It can be highly detailed, would be hyperphantasia. Now, if you wanted to imagine that apple sitting on your desk, you might actually see the apple sitting on your desk in some kind of like ghostly form or whatnot.
Interesting.
That's prophantasia. I don't really have control over it, but the difference between that and hallucination is that you're fully aware of what it is, and you can have some control over it, though. But I don't have control over when it happens.
That's where mine was going. I was trying to work out what the difference was with that and hallucination. I don't have visual hallucinations, but when I've been extremely sleep deprived, I get auditory hallucinations.
Yeah, I get that too. Though I do suspect I also may experience some variation of aphasia, both in my writings and some of the times when I'm speaking.
Well, I'm sure it helps with your writings if you can, see the whole scene in realistic detail.
Yeah, it is. But with aphasia, basically, you're having trouble with speaking, writing, and understanding language.
Mhm.
Which, but basically, what was like a good example is actually last week. Well, on here, when I was doing that little joke about Trump's tofu. I said that Trump always fucks up. I meant to say Trump only fucks up. So it's an example of it where I knew what I meant to say, but I said something completely different.
Now, I wind up doing that, but I'll use a word that sounds similar but has a completely different meaning.
And I also see that a little bit in my writing. In writing too, I'll sometimes like I meant to write with a ridiculous. So I wrote or R-A-D instead of R-I-D, even though I know how to spell. But
Yeah, I suspect that's one of the things that may be screwing up my spelling. Is it's like I'm half writing one word and half writing a different word and jamming them together.
But I think it actually might have stemmed back to the brain damage and scarring on my brain, meaning that's causing all of that.
Hmm.
A good way of looking at it is when I'm trying to read stuff in the real world. This interesting thing is actually in my dreams I can read, but when I'm trying to read stuff in the real world, things will look very much how people might describe things in their dreams. So one way you can kind of look at it is that workaround my brain is doing is sort of the difference between having the text file open and trying to read the code from the text versus taking a screenshot of the open file and reading from the screenshot.
Yeah, I always find it interesting trying to understand the ways different people process things. That, well, it's just most people think that there's just one way that everybody normally does it, and there's maybe a couple of people who, are some kind of freaks that may do something different, but everybody pretty much seems to think the way they do it is the way everyone does it. And if you
It's not.
start talking about the details, well, yeah, you start talking about the details and you find out that there's so many different ways.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing with the, how do you envision an apple when that was going around? Just a lot of people were just kind of surprised that other people didn't see it the same way they did. I don't really visualize a lot. For me, things more come as auditory streams. I've mentioned that before. It's like I don't necessarily see the scene, but I hear the characters in my head, describing things or doing the dialogue. So I'm just much more text orientated than visually.
Yeah, me too.
I had always assumed that probably was because when I was very young, when people are normally forming the neural pathways for things like recognizing faces and that, I'm pretty sure I probably needed glasses from birth, and I didn't figure it out until I was like 10. So I think it's like everybody's face was a blur, so I never learned to recognize faces.
That's a possibility. Yeah, the scarring on my brain kind of is on the upper right hand side from basically he trying to breathe while still in the womb. That caused a stroke at birth. That also caused epilepsy later in life, which resulted in the second stroke I had. But it's around the motor function area, the sensory area, and the soma, somat, not the sensory, the association area. But the rewiring, the compensation that my brain has to make also has an impact as well.
Yeah, well, especially since it's something that, you had all your life, so your brain was, forming around that even when you were young.
Yeah, so even my entire time with my brain is forming, it's forming around that. So it had to rewire itself from the get-go.
Yeah. Kind of like building the computer and discovering one of the circuits is bad, so you gotta keep routing around it.
Yeah, but basically it's basically a voluntary muscle control, sensation from muscles and skin, and evaluation of weight, extra temperature, etc., of object recognition, which is all the problems I had with my left side.
Yeah. It's another interesting how adaptable and elastic the human brain can be. Healing from injuries, of how it can work around so many things. Oh. 2 more months and I can get a new pair of glasses.
Yeah. What happened to your old pair?
Oh, I'm wearing them. I can just tell my right eye is gradually deteriorating.
Yeah.
So the right eye is just, not focusing as well. And it's really making me aware of just how dominant my left eye is, of how many things, if I close my right eye, I don't really see any difference at all. But reading the text on the screen, the text gets a bit blurry with it. So this pair is, about 2 years old at this point.
Yeah, my right eye is supposed to be worse than my left eye, but honestly, closing my one eye and looking, and closing the other eye and looking, I don't really notice much of a difference.
Well, if I close my right eye, it seems like nothing happens. If I close my left eye, it seems like everything jumps, a couple inches to the right. So, yeah, it just seems like most of the time it feels like I'm not really using my right eye at all. Which might also explain why I have such lousy depth perception.
Quite possible.
Sleeping kitty just being cute.
Ah.
Got to cover his widow face. Has to hide his face under his arm. Oh. Okay, so are we about talked out here?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
okay.
I can always go on hours and hours about the stories I've been working on, but I think I might bore people.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I could go into, the stories and the backstory of a couple of these species in mine. Still debating about the title for mine. So
Cat in space.
Well, no, see, that's the thing. They're not in space. They're all stranded on Earth.
Cat stranded on Earth.
Yep. And the cat from outer space was already taken. That was a Disney movie, so I don't need the confusion of people searching for that.
Mm.
So I am, for now at least, sticking with the title. It began with a cat.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Because that's actually, the very first page of the book is that just this cat has been just following her home every day for a couple of months at this point. Okay, so should we wrap it up here? Mike, when are
Yeah.
you doing your next show?
Yes. I live stream every Thursday at 10 p.m. British summertime, which I believe is 4 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah, it's 4 p.m. my time. It's 5 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. And where I rant about politics from a socialist point of view. Mostly British politics, but sometimes American politics as well.
Yeah, and I've been seeing Godless Scummer has been joining you on that a lot.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
So, I never seem to be able to catch you live, but I always watch the replays late at night.
Cool. I think most people watch it afterwards, after the fact, actually,
Yeah.
to be fair. Or they see the segments.
Well, for me, it's pretty much that the only time I really have to sit and actually watch any of these things is pretty much after everybody else is going to bed, because up until 10 p.m. I have other people expecting me to do things.
Yeah.
Or else it's just that, how late can I run my power tools before the neighbors start complaining?
Yeah.
So, Mage, you're just mostly working on your writing. You haven't been doing anything online for a while.
Yep. I'm still in chapter 10 of my book, and been kind of brainstorming a lot of stuff for later parts of the story. And right now, just kind of playing around with some of the other stories as well I've had in the back burner.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of hard to tell how much progress I'm making on the book as a whole, because what I've kind of accidentally wound up doing is I've kind of written the complete story arc for one character, and then I went back and I wrote the complete story arc for another character, and I just have to kind of put them together and, find which points they intersect at and run together with.
Yeah, I'm coming up with the ideas out of order, but I'm writing it sequentially.
Yeah, so what I'm kind of winding up with is it seems like I'm writing the same story from the viewpoint of 4 different characters, and then I have to blend them all together. So I'm going to wind up writing the same story 4 times. I'm finding it an interesting way to do it, so I'm going to experiment with this and see how it turns out in the end. Of course, it's one of the problems with the writing is, I'm still trying to find smoother transitions for how to deal with when things are happening simultaneously with characters that, aren't with each other at the same time. Yeah. Somebody locally in the queer community has started a writers group. So I went to the first meeting for that. we'll see if that helps.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll get me to actually type things up so I can show them to other people.
Think you'll be able to make the midnight show tonight or tomorrow?
Yeah, that should be fine.
All right.
Yeah, we
So-
can go on with a couple more episodes of Death Note.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess with that, we will say goodbye, everyone. We will run the banner and thank all our Patreon subscribers: Regios, Greg Hartwick, Judy, Kitty the Atheist, Robert X, and a continued endowment from the Lavender Lady. That's still coming through every month. So with that, we will bid you all a good day, and we will see you all same time next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
Be gay, do crime. Somebody has to say it.